Welcome back, guys. You gotta have it. Alright, so probably should have done this video a few months ago, seeing as how we're midwinter now, but better late than never, right? Done videos in the past, a couple years ago actually, on a couple things that I really like, and that's the British SAS Windproof smocks. Those to me are just great jackets. There is so much versatility and use built into them. They're just, I love the ones I've got. And one of the things I've liked about those, just as a refresher in case you haven't seen them, the windproof smocks that the Brits do are unlined. So it's just a plain jacket that doesn't have any kind of insulation to it, anything like that. And you use it as an outer layer, put all your warming layers underneath it. And in fact, the Brits generally will put their waterproof layers underneath it as well. That's always the final outer layer. And what that gives you is, it gives you your camouflage pattern on the outside, with regardless of what color or pattern your other layers are underneath it. It's quiet on the outside because it's made out of just regular material, like BDU material, like either a polycotton or an ICO material, and it lets that outer layer take all the use and abuse and etc. By itself it's great, paired up with other layers, and it just makes for a really versatile system. Here's the downside to them for those of us here in the States. They can be a little hard to come by. And the reason I say that is, yes, you can find them on eBay, and you can find actual military surplus ones. But sometimes the availability can be hit or miss depending on the size that you need. Prices fluctuate and go up and down. And then, there's shipping and everything coming from overseas, and sometimes that can be an aggravation, sometimes not. The other downside is you can generally only find them in either the DPM woodland, occasionally the desert DPM pattern, and of course MTP, the current pattern that they're using. That's kind of what you're limited to as far as actual military ones go. Now there are aftermarket ones. Some of those I don't have any experience with quality-wise. I've heard mixed reviews. Then you can go with some aftermarket ones that are really high-end, that are known for just excellent quality, but you're really getting up there price-wise compared to like surplus ones. So, why don't I ramble about all that? Well, what's an alternative for those of us here in the States? And been using it forever. I don't know why I didn't think about it sooner, or rather, I did think about it sooner. I just don't know why I didn't ever get around doing a video on it sooner. But an alternative, while not exactly the same, is just the plain old US M-65 Field Jacket. Now the M-65 is what I was issued way back in the day when I was doing a whole lot of nothing. And I don't know why things are falling on the roof, but apparently they are. Always an interruption. Anyway, the woodland ones that I used were great. I loved them. I grew up, before I even went in, using surplus woodland ones that I had bought at gun shows and surplus stores, and even some Vietnam era OD green ones that I loved and just wore holes in from using all the time. So fast forward to right now, okay? The M65 kind of went away once the Army in particular, but also the Marines and other branches, dropped the old woodland pattern as their official pattern and started using the new stuff. Along with that came newer outer garments and that sort of thing. So people kind of overlooked it. Now, you're going to get arguments, and this is purely subjective, so make up your own mind on it, that You know, there's lighter weight, you know, thinner, better options that'll do a better job at, you know, less bulk and less weight, yada, yada, yada. And that's true, there are. However, there's trade-offs. I'm going to give you my reasoning. You can form your own. Compared to the weight and bulk of some of the lighter weight stuff versus the cost, I don't mind an M65. To me, I actually like the bulk and the solidness of it. I mean, it's not overly bulky, but yeah, it's more than, you know, the real thin, lightweight stuff nowadays. But I know that this is going to take a lot of abuse. I can use it and use it and use it and use it. As long as I don't abuse it, it's going to last me a long time. Things go bad, a lot of that lightweight, you know, super cool stuff isn't going to last. It's going to get thrashed and trashed, and you're not going to be able to replace it. I know without a doubt I could take this field jacket right here, go crawl through those woods back there, and it'll be just fine. It'll shred the briars and the limbs and branches and everything else and not be an issue, okay? It's plenty sturdy, plenty durable, etc. Now, it's very similar, if you use it right, to the SAS Windproof smocks. If you take the liner out, then basically you've only got one layer of outer material and then this little thin inner liner. That's it. So for less cold weather, you can just run this jacket just by itself without the liner or anything in it, and it just gives you a good versatile outer layer. I use this a lot just by itself with no, you know, extra layers underneath it or whatever. That keeps, you know, weight and bulk down. I've just got one jacket to use, and it works. In really cold weather, you can button in the liner, and it's got to be pretty cold to button that liner in there and you actually do anything and not get overheated, because the thing is stupid warm, at least to me. So the versatility that gives you, being able to take the liner in and out, I mean, come on, you're getting a lot of use out of one item that can cover a broad spectrum of weather. So you can use this like an SAS smock. Just as an outer layer, you can add the liner to it for extra warmth. You can still layer underneath it, yada, yada, yada. For anybody asking, in case they're not familiar, no, it's not waterproof. However, the material that it's made out of, it's a nylon cotton blend, but it's like a sateen material. It's woven really, really tightly, okay? So it makes it feel pretty stout, and it resists absorbing water. Now, if you're standing out in the rain, yes, it'll eventually soak through. But a light, misty rain, it's going to shed it really good. It just kind of rolls off of it. You can treat it with some of the different waterproof treatment stuff. And again, it's not going to make it like an actual waterproof hard shell, but it'll make it pretty much like a lot of the soft shell offerings out there that, you know, most rain it'll shed other than a prolonged extended downpour. And at that point, you would want to have on, you know, a dry layer underneath it anyway, which if you want to run Gore-Tex or something like that, this is a great way of protecting that, in my opinion, somewhat fragile Gore-Tex, so that it doesn't get snagged and caught and ripped and torn when you're doing stuff. So for me, this is ridiculously versatile. Now, we're back to that thing of M65s were pretty much in woodland. That was it. Well, you can find them. I don't know if they're still being made, but I have seen where they did some multicam M65 jackets. I don't recall right offhand who was doing them. You could probably search eBay or Google or whatever and find them. That said, if you can get away from looking for an actual surplus one, buy a brand new one, there's a couple more options. One of which is just this plain OD one, and I know they have woodland, I know they have black. I would love to see them offer this in some other colors, patterns, maybe a good coyote material. I'd love to see it in some of the newer offerings like, you know, the ATAX patterns, that sort of thing. I got no say so in that. I'm just saying what I like to see. This one, and my favorite, is made by Tru-Spec. That should come as no surprise to you guys. I love Tru-Spec stuff. The price to value ratio to me is right there. It's spot on. This one is a Tru-Spec that I've been using for a while. It's just plain OD green. While I'm thinking about it, let me go ahead and give you this because I know somebody's going to ask. Side reference, I'm like 6'1"-ish, pushing 6'2", right? 6'1" and some change, something like that. This is a large long for me. And as you can see, the sleeves are perfect for me. The length is probably just above mid-thigh, which is exactly where I want it at. So yeah, I mean, it works great. You can get them brand new from Tru-Spec. I'll put a link down in the description. Go ahead and get that out of the way while I'm thinking about it too. I think right now, until the end of the month, Tru-Spec's running a discount on them. I have to go look and see, but I think I remember seeing an email to that effect. All their outerwear and stuff. Don't hold me to that. I'd have to go look. Anyway, I'll put a link to this one down there. Again, this is the plain OD green one. Another thing I forgot to mention, some of you might not be familiar with an M65. There is a hood that stows in the collar and actually runs down the back, but you unzip it and you can flip the hood out. So you got a nice hood feature if you need that. So it adds a little versatility. You just got 4 pockets, 2 up top, 2 in the bottom. They're just with regular snaps. You got snaps on the front and then a good brass zipper. I don't remember who makes this one, but all I know is it's brass and it works. The buttons that you see right here inside are for buttoning in the liner. Again, the liner will button into it so it all stays together and doesn't come apart. This also makes a great everyday jacket outside of your preparedness, because for me, I can accomplish a couple of things with it. Number one, the length is nice and long, so when I'm having my handgun concealed, I don't have to worry about reaching up and exposing my gun. I can move around and do stuff. It's not restrictive, but it conceals my gun good. It's baggy enough I can have stuff on my waist, and as long as I don't cinch the waist cord up too tight, nothing prints. In the plain OD, which is my favorite, and for those of you that are concerned about it, for everyday use, it just looks like a plain green jacket. It's not anything out of the ordinary. It's nice and subtle and blends in the crowd, and it'll blend in the bushes or anything else if you needed it to. Another cool feature that some of you might not know about, again, you guys who were issued these back when I was, you already know about them, so just bear with me. This is your liner. It's a quilted liner, very similar to a poncho liner in the material and construction. Not all of the liners had this feature that I've seen from other companies. Tru-Spec is smart and did it right. When you unbutton the liner and take it out of the jacket, it has buttons on it so that you can wear the liner as a standalone item. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not ashamed to say I wear this a lot instead of a house coat inside the house on cool mornings, because it's ridiculously comfortable. It's like having a poncho liner just wrapped around you and you're just toasty and comfy and soft. It just works. Some of you that also follow my buddy Brent over at Brent0331's channel, you'll note that when he went and did the class that he did up at One Shepherd, what did he take with him for the cold? Poncho liner. At night, when your temperatures drop and when you're not up moving around and stuff, you can throw this on, climb in your sleeping bag, whatever, and it just adds that extra big, warming layer for you that's really comfortable and really easy. I can get up and go with this if I need to because it's buttoned on like a jacket. But then when I don't want it on, I can just unbutton it, take it off, roll it up and stick it in my bag, and there you go. So give that some thought if you're looking for a good, versatile jacket that you can use in, moderately cool temperatures all the way up to fairly cold temperatures. You can use it right now in everyday use. You can use it bad times use. It's something that's going to last you, and it gives you a lot of versatility. I've broken record on that point, but sometimes points got to be repeated because they're worth repeating. Yeah, Tru-Spec one is the best one I found commercially made right now. I've been using this one again for a while and absolutely love it. Like any good M65, it just gets better the more you use it. So for your thoughts and consideration, guys, if I had to pack up and leave right now and could only take one jacket with me, that'd be the one I'd take for a warming layer jacket for cold weather. Let me clarify that. I have others that I'd use for other things, but for cold weather, that'd be it. If I needed camo layers and stuff, I think that's where the 0241 Tactical tops jackets and smock lights come in. Just a note on that, coincidentally, my smock lights from 241 fit really good over that, and being single layer material themselves, I can put it over it and I'm not adding a lot of overly unnecessary heat for, again, moderately cool weather. Again, there's a reason why those aren't lined right now. Just saying. Think of it all as a system, how you can get things to work together. So, Tru-Spec M-65 Field Jackets. In my opinion, it could possibly be one of the best, a survivalist's best friend, so to speak, or a prepper's best friend, whatever label you want to use. That could be it for a jacket. It is for me, till something better comes along. So, check it out. Link down in the description. Take care, stay safe, and catch you guys in the next one. You know that's good stuff right there, right?